Hello everyone! So today I have a new product that I am so super excited about. It is the Etchr Mirror, and it doesn't say mirror anywhere, but that is what it's called. So this is the same company that makes the Etchr Satchel art bags that I have also reviewed in a previous video. Also, I am not sponsored. All I will say about this product is my own and honest opinion as usual. And if you find this Etchr Mirror interesting, I will leave the link in the description box below, and there will also be a code for 10% discount on your purchase. So basically this is a little thing that allows you to trace your sketches or art onto whatever surface that you want in any size that you like. So that is what I'm told here on the backside at least. So you use this mirror thing with your phone or tablet, and it works for both Apple and Android. So apparently you have the image or sketch on your device and it will be mirrored down onto the surface you want to draw on. And this is such a nifty idea because light tables works great for tracing to paper, but not so great for tracing to wood panels or to canvases, for example. So if this thing works as well as it says, this will be a lifesaver for me and for other artists too probably. So let's open this and let's find out together how this thing really works. It is a really nice box actually. It is like this wooden cardboard kind of, and the lid is slightly coming off, but I guess the shipping was pretty rough for it. So first we have some instructions, some yellowish paper sheets, and then we have this plastic board, which I'm guessing is the mirror thing. Oh, there is this protection screen or mask that you can peel off. Oh, I'm looking forward to that. Then we have like a jigsaw puzzle. So let's follow the instructions and maybe I can put this thing together. And set up the stand following the picture to the left, which I've done here, and then insert the mirror board with the missing edge sitting at the lower left corner of the stand. Don't worry, I will show you some better angles once I get this thing going.
Place your device vertically or horizontally leaning against the stand and ensure that the stand and paper sit on the same level.
And then place the stand in a comfortable position, ensuring the mirrored image is shown on the paper. So I guess I need to download this app before I can set this thing up properly. Oh, and hello Ludwig. So the app is called Etchr Mirror, and it looks like it is free, so that's good. So they have this like short information here. It looks like artists in the past actually used a similar technique to this mirror thing, so that is pretty cool. Alright, so now when I have this mirror thing and I have the app, I can actually try to start doing some tracing. Already you can get kind of an idea how this thing will work, because now when I put my phone here with an image just on the screen, and you can see the screen being reflected onto this mirror board as it's called. Oh, that lovely sound. Ooh, look how nice and clear that is. Let's just make a quick little test with my own art. There, now I have this image on the phone. Use photo. There we have it. Looks pretty dark, and then you get these different options with some different filters, it looks like, and you can adjust the contrast, I guess. I will just have it in this normal mode, and I will bring up the lightness, and here you can flip it and you can turn it and you can have a grid, I guess, and you can lock the image so you don't accidentally move it around. So let's just try to trace this little guy. So yeah, it actually seems like it's working. The image is being reflected onto this mirror board and down to the paper. Maybe I should turn this one around. It looks like it works better with less light in the background. So the only thing that you will have to think about, I guess, is that you have to tape this paper down so you don't accidentally move it around, because then the image will be all weird and you don't want that. What I notice now, I think it looks all weird and wonky, and that is because I didn't flip the image, which I probably should have done, because now when I trace it, I get the image backwards. It is mirrored, of course. Have in mind that if you want your art piece to be in one certain direction, you need to flip the image on the phone first before starting to trace it. Otherwise it will be mirrored like mine is, and that is why I thought it looked all wonky. So it is actually working pretty good. I am quite impressed, to be honest. Now I don't get the tail in there, so maybe if I move it and then I move this thing so it will line up with the other sketch, maybe something like that, and I can also draw the tail. Yeah, it definitely works if you have a bigger image and you can't fit it on the screen, so you can actually move it around if you want to. So yeah, here you have the traced little image. As I said, it came out mirrored because I forgot that I had to flip it before tracing it. So yeah, that's a good little test. I will just keep experimenting, so I'm gonna make a tiny little thumbnail sketch and then I will try to trace it onto a much bigger paper, so let's go. So this is a sketch I will try to trace, and this time I'm using my iPad since it has a little bit bigger screen than my phone, and I will try to transfer this sketch first to my sketchbook, then to an A4 sized paper, and then lastly to an A3 sized paper. And I would have loved to do this on an even bigger canvas as well, but it is hard to fit everything on my desk, and I believe that the A3 paper is kind of big anyway. And once I had the image on the tablet, I played around with the contrast and brightness. I found that the brighter the screen is with less surrounding light, the easier it was for me to see the image on the mirror board. So I apologize if the lighting is a little bit poopy in this video. And I also played around with the angle, because before, when I did the test try, I had the tablet placed on my left side, so I was looking to the right through the mirror board. But since this image is in a portrait format kind of, I found it easier to have the tablet placed in front of me, so I was looking straight down through the mirror board. And this time I remember to actually flip the image before tracing it. Now when the drawing surface is about the same size as the mirror board, I can see the full image when I'm drawing and I don't have to move it around. And I think that is a good way to start, because I believe you will need a little bit of practice with this thing in the beginning. But I found that the more I used this Etchr Mirror, the easier and more natural it felt using it. It is like with all new things, you need to practice to learn. So here it is, a small sketch transferred onto a bigger paper, and I think it worked way better than I expected. I am really excited to be able to transfer my sketches onto my watercolor sketchbook, since I don't really like making the rougher sketches directly in it. So now let's try out the A4 paper. Since this paper is bigger than the mirror board, I will have to move the image around to fully trace it. And I found it a bit tricky to know how big I should make the image on the tablet, since I couldn't see the full size of it. And here I believe that the grid feature in this app can be very helpful to guide you to where the middle of the image is and help you to line up the image so you will get the placement right. Still, this takes a little bit of practice. As I mentioned before, I didn't get it quite exactly where I wanted. I also taped down the paper so I wouldn't accidentally move it around. So once I traced everything in one area, I readjusted the image on the tablet and then I moved the whole mirror thing to line it up with what I had already traced. It may sound a little bit fiddly, but it wasn't too complicated, to be honest. Also, yes, I could have traced this image with a light board, but if this paper was a canvas or a wooden board instead, I wouldn't been able to trace this image with a light board anyway. So this is where I find this Etchr Mirror very handy. Lastly, the A3 paper, and here I'm using a different grid that I found was easier to use for mapping out where the image should go. To make it even easier, you could do the same grid on the paper and just line it up with the grid on the image, and you would know exactly where the image should go. I think that might help when tracing to an even bigger surface. So I am doing the same thing here as on the previous paper, drawing one part, readjusting the image and then moving the mirror and lining it up with the rest of the drawing. And as I said before, practice makes perfect. And even if this sketch didn't turn out exactly right with the placement, I still think I've gotten better from using this a couple of times and I'm starting to learn how to use it more efficiently. So here you have all of them, so let's go through my thoughts about this Etchr Mirror thing while I'm coloring the first sketch that I made in the sketchbook. So this mirror thing worked a lot better than I first thought after making the first test. I was a bit skeptical if I could trace it over to bigger surfaces, if it would be too complicated, but I didn't find it very hard at all. Sure, you will need a little bit of practice to learn how to work it the best way, but that is how it is with all new things. I found it a bit confusing sometimes to trace the lines since they sometimes appear double, but I've solved that very easily just by closing one of my eyes and the lines got much clearer. I know that this Etchr Mirror will be super helpful for me since I am terrible at redrawing my own sketches and thumbnails into bigger sizes, and this will also save me a lot of time because usually when I make a drawing I first make a smaller sketch or thumbnail, then I take a photo of it with my phone and then I pull it up in Photoshop and resize it and then I print it off and then I trace it. So this will save me a lot of additional steps and also materials like printer paper and printer ink. So yeah, I think this is a really neat little thing, and as I said, I know this will be very helpful for me, and if you like this idea too and would like one yourself, check out the link below and use the code to get 10% discount on your order. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe to my channel if you're new here and click on the little bell to get notified every time I post new art and videos, and I will see you next time. Keep drawing, my happy cats. Bye!